What's going on, lovely human beings? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be giving you my genuine feelings about each character in Only Friends from episode 1 to episode 12, the before and the after. What I feel about them after all the crap that went on. Oh my God, all the crap that went on. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you comment down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as that bell notification and follow me on social media. Also, thanks for seeing my way. I be forgetting that sometimes. Also, the main is doing whatever it wants today, so I'm gonna be swinging it. It's got a mind of its own today, so you know that, all of that. Anyways, let's go. Dropped like a fly, because it was one. I should probably preface with this that I'm going to just be doing the main characters, including CHUEAM, because she made me feel things, certain things. So I'm only including her because she was the vehicle for a good amount of like the story, specifically dealing with like TOPMEW and Boston and Nick. She also had a little bit of a hand in SANDRAY, just a smidge, but that's it. But I'm gonna just be talking about her, but you know, it is what it is. So let's go. Okay, so in the beginning, for me, Top, I honestly took him like at face value. I was like, it is what it is. He didn't seem, okay, I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, Top slept around, Top is this, Top is that. But the thing is, I think this show showed a lot of people's, you know, their feelings on people who involve themselves in consensual sex. And I think it definitely showed how people feel about people who sleep around, even though, you know, getting your sexual needs is nothing to be ashamed of. It showed a lot of people's colors, right? Especially with Boston, but we'll get to him in a minute. But in the beginning, Top, I was like, you know, he fine. Ooh, he fine. But, you know, I thought he was like a player, and the way that he kind of tiptoed around the whole Mew thing, and I was like, I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I just was not seeing it for him at all. Top.
Pookie, come here, Pookie, come here.
Fuck, I cannot stand this puta. Always fucking my boyfriends and borrowing money. Hey, baby girl. Mwah.
I felt so much sympathy for Top just because of the shit that he was getting throughout the entire show. Now, let me preface with this. This is not condoning what he did to Mew, but I will say there are a few caveats to his wrongdoing. One, they were not together. And if you want to fight me on it, get in the comments. There's a timeline, okay? Two, he did one thing. One thing. It's just one thing that got me slipping. That's his song. That's his song, Marie. One thing. One thing. And the whole world turned on him. The thing is though, it was really weird to me how a lot of people basically wrote Top off and did not write him back in, okay, at all. Even though he is the character that showed the most progression in the entire series. The entire series. Again, y'all can fight me on this. He showed the most progression out of anybody. Out of Mew, out of Boston, out of Nick, out of Ray, out of San, out of everybody in this entire series. He went from like being a player, quote unquote, to the Top that we see now. The Top that is in love, and the Top that is sorry for what he did and did everything he could do to get Mew's forgiveness and stuff like that. But you know, that's just me. Anyways, moving on. Mew was the cutest thing. I was like, aw, protect him with everything. Protect his work. Protect his work. When I first saw Mew, I was like, I want a nerdy, like, not saying he's nerdy, but he's very well-read. A well-read boyfriend like him. Like somebody who's like, you know, soft and not, you know, too aggressive. And, you know, like, I wanted to protect him with everything. With everything. He got his heart broken and I felt for him. I was like, no, Mew. I felt so sorry for him. So sorry for him. Oh my God. Side eye. Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye. Okay. Mew inherently is not a bad person. He's not a bad person. I don't think he's a horrible person. Petty? Yes.
Yes! Yes!
Petty? Yes.
Yes.
Wavering pettiness? Yes. I don't think Mew is the type of person that fits with my personality because obviously I'm looking at these characters from my personal experience, right? He's very much a good person, right? He's a very, you know, upstanding citizen. But the problem that I have with Mew, several problems that I have with Mew, was if you are going to give someone a chance, a second chance, I do not believe that you have the right to continuously throw their past in their face. That's why I liked what his mama said, because he was like, if you're gonna give him a chance, give him a chance. Let him improve, let him progress. Don't keep throwing obstacles in his way to keep him from progressing. That was like the pettiness for me. I was like, okay, Mew, all right, we get it. Like at first I was like, yes, Mew, get back, bitch. And then I was like, okay. Okay, we get it. Oh, okay, we get it. All right, Mew again. Okay, cool. That's okay, cool. And then with the whole Boston thing, I was like, okay, I get confronting him when Adam lied, right? I mean, you're gonna believe the victim first. And you should always believe the victim, right? So when they went in on Boston about that, I was like, okay, obviously get all the clues and all the evidence. They were acting off emotions. Get it, totally get it. But then when Adam came, you know, clean, again, y'all still have every right to be mad at Boston for ruining relationships and testing relationships and being as messy as Boston was being, right? But the fact that y'all never once directly apologized to Boston for what y'all did to him, because guess what? SA is a serious thing. Yes, he, you know, stirred up some pots with his time in the friendship, but y'all accusing him of this thing, right? And then finding out the truth and still not apologizing to him. That's crazy. That's crazy. No. And then inviting him to the party and still acting shady. People who move like that are the dangerous people. People who move like that are dangerous. Okay? So Mew, after the series, I was like, okay, Mew, you go do what you do. But sir, you got a lot of like inner workings. Because I get the whole like brokenhearted thing messed you up, and it might be a defense mechanism where he's trying to protect his heart from now on, and so his pettiness is just unlocked like a new stage in Mario. Fix that, because pettiness sometimes it's funny, not gonna lie. But when it comes to things like that, like what y'all accused Boston of, and then not even apologizing to him, and then still treating him like crap, but also bringing him into a space where he thinks, oh, like, okay, they must be okay with me. And then realize, psych, we got you here just so we can look you in the face and like make you feel bad about it. Like that's crazy to me. Anyways, moving on. Like you should. Ray. Billy Ray. I kind of was indifferent about Ray when I first met his character. I was like, oh, he's that friend of the group. Then we got some of his backstory and I was like, okay. Like, I understand what you're going through, Ray. I understand what you're going through. So, you know, I kind of also wanted to do like I was doing Mew and like take him under my wing and just cradle him and be like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. You're going through some things, drugs and alcohol. So like, I get it. I do not like Ray whatsoever. I'm sorry. I don't like him. And I noticed that different people respond to Ray's story differently based off their experiences, right? And for me, it's not the fact that he was an alcoholic or, was an alcoholic because obviously he improved, or was a drug addict. It was the fact that he used those as devices to manipulate his friends, manipulate his situation, and then not only that, made people feel bad about opposing you in any way. And that divisive behavior is what completely turned me off of Ray, because when you get to that point, when you get to constantly fishing for sympathy and fishing for ways to get people to do what you want them to do or things to play out, that's when it's like, okay, are you really actually trying to improve your situation, or are you so comfortable with how people react to you because you are on this, on that? You're comfortable, so you're like, oh, I can do whatever I want and get away with it. That, I was like, whoa, let me take your ass out from under my wing and throw you out of the nest so you can get yourself together. Because obviously me being here and cradling you every step of the way is not working for you, because you're taking that and you're making it seem like I'm obligated to do that for you. And I'm not. But as your friend, obviously I'm gonna take care of you and I'm gonna look out for you. But now, since I know what you're doing and I'm hip to what you're doing, I'm gonna stay back here. You do your thing. Obviously, if I need to swoop in and absolutely need to save you, maybe. Because sometimes the only way people learn is for you to let them fall to rock bottom. I'm sorry. Some of y'all are young. And I noticed that on Twitter, some of y'all are really young watching this show, which I don't even know why y'all are watching it if y'all are under a certain age. But anyways, some of y'all are really young and your outlooks on it are very, almost like you say, optimistic, and uninformed. But that's okay. Everybody's watching. Everybody has their own opinions. But with Ray, that type of behavior in the real world is not, and I get it, characters, separate the characters, I get it. This is still real people doing real things that could actually happen. So for me, Ray is out of the basket and he needs to get himself together, which I'm glad he did. And that takes us to Sand. Sand, I was also somebody who, I was also a little bit indifferent about him. I was like, okay, it's Sand, cause I guess we didn't really get a lot of backstory and depth to these characters, in my opinion. Later on in the series, all we knew about him was, his boyfriend left him, not stolen, but left him for Top. And then the thing with his dad. I didn't really attach to this character like I did with the others, just because I didn't think he had a lot of depth to him. It was kind of like I said, I'm putting myself in these situations. I'm like, oh, if I met Sand, I would be like, hey, acquaintance. By the end of the series, I honestly felt so sorry for Sand, because as many times and as many emotional roller coasters as Ray put him through, I was just like, baby boy, it's not baby boy. Everybody has a different capacity for that type of stuff. And I don't think you should be shunned if you don't have a huge capacity for it, because some people just get hit to the trend really quickly and they're like, I'm not dealing with this. Some people have a little bit more compassion and a little bit more of a capacity to deal with that stuff. So they're like, all right, let me wait around a little bit. Let me help this person out. Let me help. Kudos to y'all. And then there's people like Sand who will go to the ends of the earth for people he loves. I respect that. While I do think in Sand and Ray's, situation, It was a little dumb. It was a little dumb. I'm gonna just say what it is. It's dumb. It was stupid in love, right? Because sometimes the people that you love, like, you need to like let them do what they do. Let them do what they do, because you being there is enabling it, right? Right, Sand? You being there enabled it. So that's why I'm glad like they had a brief break, and Sand was like, you know what? Let me break away. Like Kelly Clarkson. Like, get me out of here for a second. Ray understood what he was doing to the love of his life, right? And he came back, you know. But then the whole thing with, oh my God, the whole thing with Boeing. I need to go back to Ray. Then the whole thing with Boeing and Ray and Sam, I was like, oh my God, Ray. And okay, so like, you know, I felt sorry because I was like, you know, if we were to flip this situation and actually look at it in, okay, if you are placing Boeing in front of SANDRAY and you're like, what are you gonna do? Obviously, this was his first love, somebody he loved deeply. You cannot get rid of love in your heart for someone as easy as some people think. You cannot. I'm sorry. You have to learn to love other people. And I don't think that you should be required to completely get rid of your love for somebody. You should be able to, like, obviously, you know, be like, that was in the past, this is now, I love you, which Sand did, and I respect him for it. But you should not be completely over that person in order to get into another relationship. It's a constant working. And so Ray putting Boeing in front of Sand like that, and then being like, kiss. I'm like, now Sand should have been like, no. Obviously, that's bad on Sand's part. But like, you putting him in front of him was like, whoa. That's like, you know, Sand putting drugs and alcohol in front of you and be like, don't touch it. What you gonna do? You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So in the end, I felt so like, you know, bad for Sand of what he went through to get to this point. I'm glad that him and Ray are happy and that they work things out. But, you know, it was a journey. It was a climb by Miley Cyrus. Why am I referencing all these songs? Oh my God. Boston! Okay. In the beginning, for me, Boston, I was like, he knows what he wants and he plays. He works hard, plays hard, period. Love that. You do you, you know? And I was just like, wow, he's so messy. He's so messy. Like the things that he was doing to each of the people in this circle, I was like, whoa. Oh my God. The slight like lead on that he had with Nick. While I do believe that Boston was very upfront with what he was and what it was about, and he never strayed away from who he actually is, he was very forthcoming of his personality, right? Whereas a lot of the characters in the show weren't, and they were kind of like, it was surprising to find out who they really were in the end, whereas with Boston, it was like, this is Boston. He ain't never told y'all nothing different. He ain't never like did anything different, right? This is him. So I was like, you know, he's messy. Like, honestly, I was like, kind of like, fuck him, you know, because of the messiness, not because of him, like, you know, having consensual sex. I was like, do your thing, baby boy. Do your thing, baby boy. Work hard, play hard, Okay. The messiness, I was like, okay, Boston, let's get it together, because this ain't it. Afterwards, I became kind of indifferent to Boston because I was just like, you know, you did all this mess. Oh my God. Can you not? Right? But I felt a little bit of sympathy with him and Nick, just because, one, with Boston, because of the whole thing that his friends did to him with the whole Seay and Adam and y'all finding out the information and still not apologizing to my boy. He had this whole heartfelt apology to y'all, but y'all didn't apologize to him for, you know, accusing him of something that could have landed him in jail if y'all decided to escalate it, which is crazy, you know. Also kicked him off the project and basically ruined his life that way, which I understood until y'all found out, and then y'all came back and was like looking at him like he was crazy, and then was like, do you want to be on the project? And he's like, no, I just want to be y'all's friends. Y'all stay cool though. Y'all didn't believe me in the first place. And y'all didn't even attempt to gather any information. Like, good on y'all for believing your brother. Like, I would too. But no, I just want to be y'all's friend. But if not that, well, like, whatever. It made me feel a lot of sympathy towards Boston. I started to understand him more when it came to Nick, because he seems to be a very lonely person, but he is who he is, right? So he's somebody that doesn't like commitment. He doesn't like somebody under his wing. He doesn't like somebody dictating, you know, parts of the relationship and things like that. He very much likes to be in control of himself. When Nick came around and started to kind of break those walls, he was like, I like this, but I don't like this. So when him and Nick finally actually deemed themselves boyfriends, and he was like, you know, we can be boyfriends, I was like, oh, Boston, you shouldn't have did that. Because Nick is a hopeless romantic. You shouldn't have did that. But he did. And the whole thing with Boeing in the hallway and stuff, I was like, okay, again, you shouldn't have told Nick that she was going to be boyfriend if you was going to be smooching up on something. Everybody's ex, basically. Boeing is everybody's ex. Up in the hallway. Like, you shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have did that. And then the whole thing with going to the party and Mew being a little bitch ass and all this other stuff. And I was just like, okay. But I'm glad he went to New York, got himself together, and has separated himself from that friend group. Because to this day, I think that that friend group is not a friend group. They think they are. They want to be. But y'all can't stop doing each other wrong. So that's that. That's that. But in the end, Boston, I kind of became indifferent. I was like, I'm glad you moved on. I'm glad you're not, you know, engaging in this messiness. I'm glad you're doing what you dreamed of, your dream, your calling, because maybe that'll keep you out of like issues with people. And I hope he breeds like, you know, better friendships in the future. Oh, Nick Pookie, Nick, baby boy. Oh my God. Okay, Nick, I was so infatuated with Nick. I love him. I love him. This boy, oh my God. I was like rooting for him in Boston in the beginning because I was like, oh snap. Like, I know Boston be proud, but like maybe he was in love with this man. Like, it must have been bomb. It must have touched his heart. Like, because Nick was in love, stupid in love. Oh my God. He was stupid in love. But I was just like, there were 3 people I wanted to take under my wing. My God. Mew at first. Nick. And who was the other one? Sand. I wanted to protect him. Oh, no, Ray. Sand didn't need protecting. Ray I wanted to protect because I was like, oh my God, baby boy. But then that went away quick. Nick, and I love his style. I thought he was such an endearing character. And yeah, like, that was just my first impression of him. In the end, I still love Nick so much. I love that man. I love him. While he was just stupid in love, like I said, and he did do some sideways stuff like spying and like, you know, giving away information. What's his name? Gap. Giving Gap information on Boston and stuff like that. That was crazy. You shouldn't have did that, Nick. You became messy like everybody else. But in the end, I'm glad that he learned that Boston is just not for him and that he deserves actual love. I wish Daddy Dan would come pick my mans up. Like, oh my God, pick my mans up. Pick him up. But, you know, it is what it is. But I still love Nick so much. He dresses like he's comfortable all the time. He is a sweet, sweet boy, and I hope the best for him. Lastly, I'm gonna talk about CHUEAM. In the beginning, I was like, yes, girl. Like, I need a girl to break up this testosterone. Oh my God, I needed this. And I was like living for her. I was like, she's the party girl. She goes out, she does her thing, period. Love that. In the end, I didn't really care for CHUEAM that much. Like, because I just think it's a very big eye-opener to someone's personality when you know, based on how they act and how they treat situations, like the thing with the Boston and Adam thing, when she found out the truth and she was just kind of like, oh, like, it's okay, you know, it's okay. And then goes to Boston and still doesn't apologize to him. Like, she tried to get him to come into the friend group, but like, no, girl, I need an apology. I need you to say, I'm sorry, Boston, that my brother accused you of SA, and, you know, we exiled you from the group and the project and everything, and called you trash and slapped the shit out of you, and I'm sorry. You should have said sorry to all of that, but y'all didn't. And that will never sit right with me. So you know, I don't really care for her. Her and April's relationship is so sweet. Love that for them. Love that she has someone. And yeah, that's it. That's all I feel for her. So that's it for me. That's how I felt about each character in Only Friends in the beginning and in the end. Let me know your thoughts about each character. Comment down below what you felt about them, what your first impressions were, and then let me know how you felt about them at the end. It's okay if we disagree, obviously. Let me know in the comments, but don't be rude. But yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Also, comment down below and let me know if you want any other, you know, videos like this where I just, you know, babble off at the mouth. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell and subscribe to all of my social media. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.